Welcome to sportsbookraeview.com. I'm Flash, and it's Serie A week 13. Funny old results midweek. We go again this weekend. But first of all, you must subscribe, press the button and ring the bell. And that means that we'll notify you and you'll never miss any content again. And the reason I'm overemphasizing that today is because over the Christmas period, it's going to be rat-a-tat-tat. We're going to have different shows on different days just so that we do not miss many games or any games if we can help it. You know that I'm going to have the two mad men. We're going to have Alex and we're going to have Tan. But first of all, they've done some work behind the scenes. So if you press the link in the description, that'll take you over to their articles where normally there's parlay winners, normal winners, and there's a little bit more meat on the bone. Thanks, Tan. I like to myself.
That was your voice. That was your voice coming from every corner.
I know. Listen, I know what you do. You take my voice.
Seconds. He can't stay 2 seconds without listening to your voice. You know.
I know. Exactly.
And one is not enough.
He tapes my voice. Tape, not record. He tapes my voice, and then at night when he's trying to just relax, he just presses the button, and I'm like into his ears. Okay, so obviously you've heard both Tan and Alex. I'll come to you first, Alex. Midweek was a bit dodge, few draws, but the people in the chat, who's remember you're our third guest, they said they had parlays. One team let them down. Myself, Milan let me down for my own personal parlay, and Sassuolo get done by a penalty. Otherwise, I'd have had Sassuolo at plus 210 and the draw double chance. And it just all went a bit pear-shaped for Spezia late on 2-0 up. Came back. Bologna 2-2 and missed the 97th minute penalty. Alex, how did you fare?
You said few draws, few that gives us directly 7 from 9. 7 draws from 9 games. I think that is the first time this season that we are seeing so many draws in a Serie A round. Don't forget that we still have a match pending today. It's Roma Torino. We covered it in the last show. Interesting to see Inter beating Napoli. They deserved the win, but they struggled badly after being one man up. After Napoli received the red card, it looked like Inter received the red card, you know, and they struggled so bad to keep that win and the 3 points, and they managed to do that. Sassuolo missed many opportunities in the second half to beat Fiorentina. I was expecting them to beat Fiorentina. Even in the last minutes of the game, they missed some important opportunities. Impressive. I was talking with Tancredi before the show. Golini, really impressive. The goalkeeper of Atalanta against Juventus. I think that he was the MVP of that match. A great goalkeeper. And I was asking Tan who he thinks is the best goalkeeper, the Italian goalkeeper right now, and he said that it's Donnarumma, Golini there, but Donnarumma first. Oh, okay, he said to me something else, but he will tell you on his own.
No, you can say, no problem.
He said that first of all, he's the best goalkeeper right now, Italian goalkeeper still is Buffon, you know. But he's a little bit old, to be honest. So maybe he's good. He's good now, but okay, his age tells everything about his performances lately and how much he's playing, because he's not playing so much right now. But all in all, it was a pretty good round. The banker came in. I had Spezia and Bologna, the Alex Classic, so I was happy with that. I had Sassuolo with the Drono bet. It was a push from there, and the other two were losses.
Okay. Now remember the third guest. We're going to try and get to 100 thumbs up. Tan loves 100 thumbs up in the Serie A show, and there's 56 you watching. We've only been on air 4 minutes, and there's 14, which is exactly 25%. As 1 thumbs down, but we don't mind that. That means Rude Boy is waiting in the wings to say something. Tan, I was a bit concerned about the tempo between Inter and Napoli. It looked like a testimonial game for a good hour.
There was no tempo when tempo in Italian means literally time. Both the managers after the game said possibly we respected each other a bit too much. Kind of an excuse of saying we were scared to concede anything. Inter in some way possibly they are there. They were second. They are even more second because they've cut short the gap from 3 to 1 point to Milan, but they never had won a big clash so far. So maybe they had more reason to be scared. Napoli was unlucky. All in all, the round is the midweek round, and it will be the next two that are still waiting for us of a season very compressed, that is getting to the little winter break, that is feeling the fatigue for the big clubs that were in European competitions, but also for the little ones that are not accustomed to play every 3 days. In fact, we saw almost every game being not very leveled and very slow in the first half. Then some took a pace as the minutes went by in the second half. Others stay slow. That is a path. Personally, I am pretty happy because picked out 4 out of 5 of the betting tips. The draw no bet out on Sassuolo at Fiorentina, on Cagliari at Parma, the both team to score and over 2.5 goals in Spezia Bologna, both team to score in Juventus Atalanta, betrayed only by the both teams plus over at Inter Napoli. But I think this path will stay there. And now we have a weekend with much more big clashes. There are at least 2, if not 3, actually 3, let's say 3, that are very, very intense, high table. But all in all, this playing every 3 days, also for the teams that are out of European competitions, is paying the toll, is getting the toll.
Yeah, I mean, I look at some of the sides and I think to myself, okay, Genoa not very. There's a lot of teams that are not very good, but they scrambled points. And I'm thinking to myself, I've got to stay with the faith of fading some of these sides. And let's go with the first game, Tan, and it's Fiorentina at plus 120, got a penalty yesterday and never looked like winning the game. Draw plus 250, and Verona at plus 240.
For me, double chance on draw and Verona to win out. I was right in thinking that Verona would struggle with Sampdoria, and that was both teams to score, I said, and it was in that way. I was not convinced at all that Verona would win. It was in that way because Verona have never lost against the big teams, but all the points they have dropped have been against minor teams. Against Sampdoria, it happened the same. Obviously, they are going to bounce back from losing at home with Sampdoria. But this Fiorentina, for how not sexy at all they are, anyway, they are little by little, finding a bit of confidence. The ability they have, the skill they have, is making ugly all the games they play, even for the opposite. Even Sassuolo game got uglier. And I think that with Verona could happen the same. Anyway, not enough for them to win. So double chance, draw, and Verona to win.
Okay, listen, it's just after 7:38 here in Costa Rica in the morning. And Vivek's waking me up with, Milan don't win Serie A. Vivek, come on now. Listen, have a bit of positivity, okay? Yes, listen, I even tweeted out maybe 10 days ago, a week ago, that Inter at plus 200 was probably the only way to go. If you haven't got, obviously, the 25-1 or the 6-1 about Milan being in the top 3. But, come on, Vivek. Keep them thoughts to yourself and listen, it's a long, long way to go. Fiorentina at home, getting a scrappy old draw, Alex, and they killed me because I thought Sassuolo would be good things, but they hit the bar, they missed open goals. Honest to God, I was like trying to put the ball in the back of the net and it would
on your own.
Yeah, of course.
You're in the living room with the head, right? Come on, let's do it now. Sometimes I wish that you are on the pitch because I see some crazy opportunities missed from this kind of strikers, you know. So you are clinical on your period. I saw some of your matches, and you are clinical. But you mentioned about Inter. I think that this midweek round, it was for Inter. I mean, they won, and the rest the rest of the teams that they are fighting for the Scudetto, they either drew after or they lost. So it was for Inter. Coming back on this Verona game, we didn't talk before with Tancredi before giving you the tip for this match, but I'm on the same tip, and it's also official at 1.7. My only worry here is that the starting 11 midfielder for Verona, Barak, received a red card in the 94th minute of the game against Sampdoria. Verona, I think that they were a little bit unlucky not at least to win 1 point from that match, because they dominated the match, they had their opportunities, but Sampdoria were clinical. They had 3 shots on goal, they scored 2 times. So that is good. That means that they have good strikers. But yeah, Verona are very organized, and we can give them that. On the other side, Fiorentina are struggling badly right now. They were very lucky not to win, not to lose against the Sassuolo, and I think that they will continue their bad run of form with another negative result against Verona. So Verona draw double chance at 1.7 for me too.
Yeah, I've had to keep fading Fiorentina. I've gone Verona, draw no bet at good plus money there. So I'm going to continue to either live by the sword or die by it. Next game, probably my favourite this, and I know it's minus 125 now, but it's Sampdoria at minus 125, draw plus 275, and Crotone at plus 340. Alex, Crotone struggle on the road. Sampdoria seem to be improving because they've got that good platform.
I thought that Crotone will lose this time out against Udinese. I think that is a good result for them. Goalless draw on the road against Udinese. Of course, they are still last in the standings, but they are very, very lucky right now that a team like Torino is not performing at their level, you know. And Torino are equal on points before this match with AS Roma. Torino, by far, they have the better squad between them and Crotone. So I think that Crotone are still lucky because of their the teams that they are in a direct fight right now. Torino and Genoa also perform bad. But if you take them squad to squad, they deserve to go down. They just have 2-3 players with quality inside their team, and they are very naive and without experience. And that plays a big role in the top flight league in Italy. So I think that you're right. Sampdoria coming after that, let's say, deserved after all, because they scored 1 goal more against Verona. So deserved victory on the road against a really organized side like Verona. And I think that their experience will be enough for them to add 3 more points to their season tally.
Yeah, I've gone Sampdoria, Tan, as being my absolute banker on this card. When you look down, there's some low-hanging fruit, but I thought none hang lower than Sampdoria at home to Crotone.
It's a game to handle with care. See, before Udinese Crotone, I was almost perfect in my analysis. I said, this game is going to be or 0-0 or full of goals, no middle way. I picked wrongly because I said full of goals. It was 0-0, but it was one of the 2 options. And the Sampdoria Crotone, it is the same difficult to handle, but with the same slow, precautious start. Crotone, for the first time at Udine, decided to be more conservative. A team that is trying to play offensive, but not having the skills to do it. After winning against Spezia, they said, okay, you know what, guys, let's try to get some points playing ugly. And they made it, in spite of Udinese was very unlucky. I think they will try to do the same at Sampdoria. Sampdoria has been rotating a lot, but also spent a lot to win at Verona. So, and Crotone also will have 1 day more to rest. So I go with draw at the halftime.
Draw at the halftime. Okay. Okay, well, we'll just, I'm going to go with Sampdoria just to win the game. So I don't mind it being 0-0 at half time. As long as it's like a comfortable 3-0, I can do without them last minute goals. Unless they're obviously coming for me. Parma, plus 900, Tam, draw plus 400. And Juve at minus 280. Penaldo missed, and yet he's had like 10 in the last 4 games.
Do you recognize this gesture? Do you recognize this?
Is that what you was like in the club on Saturday night?
Is when the time madness is arriving, this gesture. Is when the time madness is arriving.
Don't tell me that you are going the other way. Don't tell me.
Some time madness happening here. Not total madness, but if we look at the odds, mad enough. What I'm talking about is draw at the half-time and Juventus to win full-time, which is approximately at 4.50. Juventus are, it's always complicated for them to interpret rightly, to approach rightly the game against not the big side. Always. It has always happened so far. Always. And Parma, another ugly team to watch for the way they play, but at least, as we saw against Milan, and as we saw against Inter, when they have in front the big sides that got some struggle in that moment, they can make it even uglier for them. Gervinho and Caramo and whoever is the third are perfect to make the most of a slightly unfocused Juventus backside. Anyway, considering the way they drew with Atalanta, I feel Juventus to come out, all in all, but draw half time and Juventus the full time, it's at 4.50. And this also goes down to Armando Barretto, who is saying, finally, I have chance to hear live the voice of Tank is breathtaking. I know that my voice can give you emotions. Sorry.
Plus 330 for Juve, draw half-time, win full-time. Do you see both teams scoring here, Alex?
This is exactly what I was thinking about. Both teams scoring at 1.8. I think that, Juventus will come to win this game after that 1-1 draw against Atalanta. But lately, everybody can score against Juventus. And as Tan said, their backline is very relaxed. And Parma has the quality up front to find the back of the net against them. I want to answer something from Jeremiah Badu. He's saying that at this time of the season, teams are tired. On the contrary, teams are not tired. I think that this time of the season, and also most of all in January and after that, teams will be at the top of their level, top shape of their level. Of course, you will see injuries and some players that are tired. But normally a team, and I will let Flash tell you how a team will construct to be at the best shape at what point of the season. Go on, Flash.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing about this time of year is the players absolutely love it because they're not on the training ground. I mean, you play, so Serie A, they play on a Sunday and then they play Tuesday or Wednesday, then they're going to play on the Saturday or Sunday, and then they're going to play midweek. So there's no chance for them to have their legs run off them on the training ground. And players don't like being on the training ground. They love to play because there's a result at the end of the 90 minutes hard work. So for me, I think it's a great time of year. It is rat-a-tat-tat, as I say, because it's like weekend, midweek, weekend. But at the end of the day, they're competitive. They need to play games, and they love it. So mentally, they will be refreshed, and they look forward to it. Obviously, you get them others that look for a bit of an excuse because they might not be having a good time of it themselves, or the team's not doing well. And then all of a sudden, that's when you start like wavering in your focus.
Coming from Barca man, penalty for Juventus at 3.75, and they had plenty of them lately on their favor.
Yeah, and that's not even to score a penalty, is it? That's just to get a penalty.
I think it's to score. A penalty.
No, it's to get a penalty.
To get a penalty, yeah. I mean, which is not bad value, especially in this day and age with the VAR. They find penalties. Listen, I got done by a couple of penalties over the last couple of days. Now, Alex, Torino at plus 170, draw plus 265, and Bologna at plus 165. If ever I saw a 1-1 draw, this is it.
No.
Wow.
Let's not forget that Torino are playing today away against AS Roma. Let's not forget that. So they will have 1 day. Bologna will have 1 day extra to refresh and to play to prepare the match. Let's not forget that Torino are in a. Probably they will lose today. As I see, they will lose today. They should. Normally on paper they should lose today, and they will remain with 6 points. You know how desperate they will be against Bologna because they are there, 6 points after 12 matches. Equal on points with Crotone if they will lose today, that it means. But on the other side, Bologna are very relaxed. They will say to them that they were a little bit unlucky not to score that penalty in the 97th minute against Spezia. They came back from 2 goals down. They are full of confidence. They will concede goals because this is what they are doing best, to concede goals. Torino are brilliant going forward, but they are also struggling at the back. Over 2.5 goals at 1.72. The most, I think that the best value for me for this match.
So that's just over 2.5 goals in the game. No, Alex, classic.
No. Just over 2.5 at 1.72.
Okay, Tan, do you see both teams scoring? Because if Belotti doesn't score, no one scores.
Exactly. Yes, that and the other. I go with the so-called Alex classic. Because, factoring that anyway, we still don't know the performance against Torino, but it is supposed to be a revolution tonight at Torino, with 5 starting players of the squad benched by the manager, including Sirigu, that is the Italy national backup goalkeeper, including Nkulu, including Zaza. So he wants to give an electric shake to the team, whatever will happen. And Bologna had an electric shake after recovering 2 goals back from Spezia. So knowing the Bologna attitude of always making things happen, I go safe with that, both teams to score and over. Let me say to Eric Lakey, he's saying, been watching you guys for about a year, and first time I've been able to watch live, starting with physical therapy, PTS, I don't know what is, in 13 minutes. Luck to Eric Leckie.
Okay, well, tell him before he starts his physiotherapy to press the thumbs up then.
Positive vibes from us.
Yeah, we want to try and get to 100 thumbs up by the end of the show. So obviously we're not going to do it unless you press it. Dina says, did I ever play with Paul Gascoigne, against Paul Gascoigne? Yes, of course. I know Gaza.
Tell us.
Well, I mean, he was just an unbelievable talent, to be honest. I mean, I remember being very, very young, playing against him. I was probably about 18 or 19. He was at Spurs.
You were Sheffield, right?
No, he nutmegged me. I remember that. I went to give him a kick and he just slipped it through my legs, tapped me on the head and went round me. You know what Gaza was like? He was everything that a schoolboy wants to be. But he played like he on the professional stage, like he did when he was like 10 or 11, when it was jumpers for goalposts in the middle of a field. So
I always wanted to ask you if you played against Vinnie Jones.
Oh, well, yeah, of course. I mean, many times I played against Vinnie Jones. I got sent off against Leeds when Vinnie Jones was playing as well.
Wow. We are going to touch those topics in the future.
You are so crazy. You are so tough guy.
Sorry?
He was such a tough guy, Vinnie Jones.
Yeah, well, he was an intimidating lad. He was I know him off the pitch as well. I've met him many times, and he's like got a heart the size of the world. But on the pitch, he was one of those. His skill was to intimidate, and he was very rough and ready. And if you weren't up for the fight, then he would crush you. But you had to be up for the fight. Next game, I quite like this, and it's going to probably go against the grain, but the price tells you everything. Benevento plus 135, draw plus 240, and Genoa at plus 220. Green shoots of Genoa improving. I'm not buying the 2-2 home draw with Milan. I'm going for the home win, Alex.
Ooh, you're going for the home win. I'm not touching on this match, but a little bit overrated, as you said, that you're not buying that 2-2 draw against Milan. I was watching the match, and I was seeing also Tancredi tweeting out that how to put Kalulu to stay and to keep Destro out. I mean, Kalulu against Destro. We know the experience of Destro in in Serie A. You know, I think that he's one of the talented guys. Let's give it to him. You know, so if he will, if a player like Kalulu will keep him from scoring, he will score you. And it happened against Milan 2 times. Of course, that Milan without Benacer, also without the other one.
Here.
Yes, Simon Kier. But I really don't want to touch on this Benevento versus Genoa. Two bad teams, in my opinion, fighting against each other. So even if you cannot separate them, go for the draw at 3.3.
Yeah, Tan, the reason I've gone with Benevento is because even if they go down fighting and they go down giving everything. And I think the energy levels and they're this is a game where they can actually go and get 3 points. And I think the odds tell you everything. If they didn't have a chance, they'd be over plus 200 at home. But at plus 135, it's telling you, don't look at gift horse in the mouth. Just take it.
No, absolutely. Benevento to win, great odds. Benevento have been solid in their game plan every time. Genoa have been able to up their game against Juventus and against Milan. But guys, for Genoa, playing Juventus and Milan within 4 days, do you think they are not gonna get any consequence in them of that stress? Benevento had 1 day more to rest, but most of all, have always been with this clear game plan. So it's not been so their standard has not changed so much as for Genoa, who has been very crap and then went up against the big teams. So that's giving him much more confidence. And in the end, Benevento against Lazio drawing could actually even have something to regret because they should have deserved even a bit more. So totally, those odds, great, Benevento to win.
Yeah, listen, I think I've got a couple of bets for this game, and I like Benevento, and I probably will bet them again at half time because as Sean Mack said, draw half time. Statistically, these are the two worst sides in the first half. I think my official pick is draw at the half time at plus 110. So I'm definitely all over this game.
Before you go on, it's a nice comment on the chat. Tarje Furbert is saying, "Man, I'm so late. I was running home to catch the show. I actually thought that it was the German league, and I was happy to say Union Berlin banker. So yeah, thank you for running to catch the show. That is great."
That's it. Now, just put your feet up, enjoy it. But remember, when you're putting your feet up, press that thumbs up. We're at 48. We've got 100 watching. That's 48%. Even I can do them like little divvy maths. Cagliari plus 230. Tam draw plus 255. And Udinese at plus 130. This is an Alex classic every day of the week. Please tell me I'm not wrong.
I don't go with you with that. I'm just not convinced.
What are you not convinced with? Who?
By both of them, because I'm not sure it's the kind of game I would want to watch at any cost. Cagliari are recovering Simeone, who first 3 days ago played the last 15 minutes. Yesterday played the second half, probably against Udinese, will start from the beginning. And they need him so much because they are missing so much for converting up front. But Di Francesco, the manager, made some rotations in the game against Parma, which didn't pay because it was a draw and a draw where he was lucky, but means he will have a bit more rest players than Udinese, even if Udinese played 1 day in advance. Udinese played in full force against Crotone, got nothing. But the thing is that Cagliari are coming from, if I'm not mistaken, 6 games in a row without winning, which is something that didn't happen to them since 1 year. If not now at home against Udinese, when? So Udinese also are actually undefeated in 5 or 6 games, which is their longest streak in 1 year and a half. A bit too much for Udinese. So if not now, when? So Cagliari to win, and Cagliari to win at plus 230. I don't know why they went so up with Cagliari odds. I don't know why. Maybe because they drew against Parma 0-0, but
they are giving these odds because they are seeing their last results. Mostly the bookies are based on stats, you know.
But Udinese drew at home against. But Udinese drew at home against Crotone, and they.
I know they battered them for 90 minutes. So I mean, I nearly tweeted out about 6 times in play Udinese win this game, but every time I went to do it, I looked at the odds, and they were like minus money, even with like half an hour to go, and I'm like, I got to leave this well alone, and I'm glad I did because it was like.
Plus, they are coming after 3 wins before this Crotone game. They won against Torino, they won against Lazio, they won against Genoa. So this
another reason why they can't go on winning all. It's not like
I wouldn't go.
Why not? Why can they not?
Because it's Udinese. Because those kind of teams, it never happened with them. Maybe it happens in 1 year to Sassuolo, to Atalanta. Yeah. That's it. One team every year. They will stop sooner or later. And again, Cagliari, too many games, so it was also unlucky. There are these two different moods clashing.
Yeah, and if you don't want to go with if you don't want to go all in with that 3.3 or plus 230 in US odds, you can go with the draw no bet option at 2.2.
Which is still good, yeah.
What about both teams to score? And if you fancy one of the teams to maybe a team total, just go on one side to score 2 goals.
I think that we will see a short win. I think that we will see a 1-0, 2-1 kind of win. And I don't know. I'm seeing under 2.5 goals, to be honest, in this one.
Musti, you talk some absolute flannel, by the way. Inter will definitely win Scudetto. They may well do. That's why they exited the Champions League. What do you think they thought? Well, we'll just lose out on about 40 million euros just to concentrate on Scudetto. No, but once they were out.
But I like the reasoning behind it. That's why.
Yeah, but it's the wording. I'm sure it's not the way he meant to type it. It's almost like they've said, let's not qualify for the Champions League or Europa League and concentrate on Scudetto. Okay, Inter. Funnily enough, at minus 385. Them odds are a bit too good for the squirrel. Draw plus 600 and Spezia at plus 1150. Alex, Spezia, they only know one way. It's pedal to the metal. It's attack. But if they let him 1, they could let him 5.
I mean, for whoever saw at least the second half in this Inter versus Napoli game, 1-0 with a red card with 20 minutes to go from the game, missing some incredible chances, missed incredible chances by Napoli. Great win with Lukaku there being the goal scorer again and again and again. That's Lukaku. But on the other side, we have Spezia that, like you said, they are going all in, and they are so naive. You see it from going 2 goals up. They almost lost that match against Bologna. You see what happened to them against Crotone. A game that we've seen, we watched it together. So I don't know. They should be battered in this one. Inter, if they want to demonstrate something, they should demonstrate it now against such a great opponent like Spezia. I think that Spezia are one of the best opponents right now for Inter to get their goals in. You know, when you score 3, 4, 5 goals in a game, the level of confidence is another. You know. When you win 1-0 against an opponent like Napoli and all the other teams, Milan, Juve, Sassuolo, draw the matches, also Napoli lost. But Spezia, I think that they can score against them. When Inter are going 3-0 up, still Spezia will play the same kind of match, going all win, trying to score against Inter. So my bet for this match is Inter to win and both teams to score at 2.5.
Wow, plus 150 was plus money with Inter. I think Inter win. I mean, I'm wondering if they win to 0 though. or they minus 1.5. I think they win by 2. Inter are obviously the strongest side at the moment on form, but if they lose just a couple of individuals, like most sides, I guess, then they will really, really struggle, Tan.
But I go with the same as Alex, just a little bit different. I go with both teams to score and over 2.5 goals because
Alex, classic.
Yeah, Spezia always producing football. Inter will struggle a bit to cope with that. But anyway, it's almost as this winning against Napoli gave them a brand new awareness. As I said, they had not win against a big side yet, and now they did. Now they are shortest than ever from the top. All boosting confidence. But they won't be tight, obviously, as against Napoli, against Spezia. So something will go through, but something will go through for sure through Spezia. And considering that, anyway, I think Inter will win. If for not saying Inter plus both teams to score, I say both teams to score and over 2.5 goals.
I just had a crazy thought there. What about Spezia half-time, Inter full-time? I mean, that's going to be around plus 550 or something bonkers like that. But yeah, mate, I can see Spezia scoring and Inter still winning. So the plus 150 looks good value, Alex. Now let's move on. And I don't even like this game. And the reason I don't like it is because Sassuolo let me down for a good few quid. And now they play Milan. It's Sassuolo at plus 310. Draw plus 300, Tan. And Milan at minus 125. Sassuolo can't score more than 1 in a game. They're having 15 chances. Now, in my luck, this is when they put it all together.
It's going to be very, very tough. So, Sassuolo is recovering Caputo. As Simeone, he played a few minutes past game. Yesterday, played half an hour. Probably will play a bit more against Milan. Not sure he will start from the beginning. But Sassuolo realized that without Caputo, their maneuver, their building up, their getting to the goal is just not the same smooth. De Zerbi, anyway, the manager has adjusted the team to that needs and is making the most. On the other side, Milan, I feel that they are gonna rush Ibrahimovic to be on the pitch because you can stumble on Parma and say, okay, we played a great game. We were unlucky, happens. But against Genoa, it wasn't like that. Against Genoa, they were put under for all the first half. They reacted in some way, also because Genoa got some limits. They have this defensive limit. So now Pioli understands that missing that centre-back next to Romagnoli is damaging a lot the team. Milan had conceded, if I'm not mistaken, 6 goals in the previous 10 games, and have conceded 4 in the last 2. And the opponents were Parma and Genoa. But all happened when the injuries came, when it started to be shaky. Yesterday, if there was Kier on the pitch, for sure Milan would have won, for sure. So now Pioli understands that and understand also that he needs Ibrahimovic now, because if you draw like you did against Genoa, means that what you have is not enough anymore. Rebic played last year. Rebic with Ibrahimovic was scoring at every game, playing next to Ibrahimovic. This season, Rebic played 11 official games, 0 goals scored. And this means so that Milan is suffering exactly there. So Milan to bring Ibrahimovic in my opinion, but also to be careful because they know that now with Kalulu, they are letting much more goals in. Sassuolo on the other side, with Ibrahimovic in, they will adjust even more. I go with a precautious start. I go with draw at the halftime.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think it could be draw at the half time. Alex, we've got two talisman for each side. It's Caputo. Is he back? Claudio in the chat saying he's back. We need Ibrahimovic back for Milan and then you might go with Redic score anytime. And also, we got another female in the chat because Chantel, are you a female? Basically loving the show. Sassuolo and Milan, it looks like an Alex classic.
Yeah, it looks like an Alex classic. And yes, we need AC Milan needs Ibrahimovic right now, but it's not like they are not scoring goals. I think that only one team in the history of Serie A scored 2 or more goals in more than 14 consecutive matches in Serie A. This is what is the record right now for AC Milan.
No.
Goals.
Milan just broke the record. The record belonged to Torino in 1948.
Yeah. With
13 games in a row with multiple goals. And yesterday touched 14 Milan and broke the record.
Yeah, 14 games with at least 2 goals scored and 24 games with at least 1 goal scored in Serie A. So, I mean, it's not about Ibrahimovic. Of course, it's about Ibrahimovic because he is the guy, he's the person,
he's the leader.
The leader from the pitch, right? So that will give them a big plus. But their struggles at the back right now with so many injured players says to me that Sassuolo will find the back of the net against them. So the Alex Classic at 1.82, I think that is the way to go in this match.
Yeah, minus 123 looks like the way to go. By the way, NLD has just typed in, sorry I'm late. It's no problem. It's not a classroom. Just relax. We entertain you. So you just come in, sit down, put your cup of tea, feet up, and just enjoy it. And if you've got any leans or bankers, get them in the chat. That's what we're all here. It's a family game.
Right. Hey, Flash, what happened to the table of our picks at the beginning?
I'll do them next week because obviously it's rat-a-tat-tat and the game's not finished until this afternoon. I can't put up an unfinished record. So I've got last weekend's record to put on and we've got the record from this midweek. And don't worry. I've told you before, mine will be like plus 6,000 because I went and done a 10-team parlay. Atalanta at plus 110, draw plus 300, Roma plus 210. I think there'll be people that want Atalanta, there'll be people that want Roma, and there'll be people that want the draw, Alex.
Yeah, there will be plenty of people that will want because this is a match that anyone can win, you know. But this is why we are not even touching the winner's market here, and we are going with the Alex Classic at 1.72. Atalanta had their chances to beat Juve, but in the second half, Juve dominated, and Golini was Spider-Man in Atalanta's the goalkeeper of Atalanta. So I think that right now Atalanta against Roma will find even more spaces than they did against Juventus. I don't know the situation a little bit with Papu Gomez that he played yesterday. How many minutes he played?
Half an hour.
Half an hour. No, even more than that. Like 40 minutes.
Is that shop windows, you reckon?
Asking to me?
Well, either. I'll come to you in a minute, Tan. But Alex, okay. You think he's playing that half an hour just to keep him so that teams are happy to take him?
I don't know what is happening in the dressing room. Probably Tancredi has more information in that sense. But it's good that he played. I think that Gasperini is the type of manager that, okay, he used him on Champions League, like Tancredi said, and he made a favor to the club. And after that, he said, if we will not arrive to a consensus, I will not use him anymore. And the fact that he was on the bench and he was used for 40 minutes, coming from Gasperini, that we know how tough guy he is, we know how very conservative person. I think that they improved. I don't know now. I'm judging from outside, but again, Tan will have more on this subject. Roma, great attack. So the Alex Classic there is the only thing that I'm playing at 1.72, both teams to score and the over 2.5 goals.
Okay, Tan, Atalanta or Roma. The Roma go there and pick up the points, or do they settle for the one at plus 300?
It's going to be a very open game. And what's happening with Gomez? Basically, Gasperini is saying, I'm a man that is going to put the club ahead of everything. So this is what is happening is not cancelled and will have consequences, but I'm limiting the damage for the club. So basically, he started against Juventus and he called Gomez in when the team needed Gomez. In a normal situation, he would play him from the beginning. And I sense that against Roma, it will be, and for the following of the season, at least until January, and then we will see, because also, as far as I know, Milan made the first move, but also Inter made a move for Gomez.
Wow.
At least until
Inter will play him in the starting 11 if they buy him.
He could be. See, for the way Gomez has been playing at Atalanta, he could replace Brozovic clearly. So definitely, when you have such a player that is not costing that much, because Gomez asked to the club, look, I have given up on Saudi money, huge offer in the past years, because I stuck to the project, but now the situation is like this, so release me. I don't believe Atalanta giving him away for free, but anyway, if you can have him, Inter are gonna try, that's for sure. And Milan made the first move and Inter replied. But anyway, I think that Gasperini will keep on being, we say in Italy, più realista del re, being more realistic than the king, because the king is re in Italy. When you are cynical, because whatever, Machiavellian, I would say, so at any cost. And so I believe that club is really appreciating this Gasperini attitude, because it's saying you have all the right and you are winning even on behavior, because you are demonstrating that anyway you won't do anything to damage the team. If the team is in need, you will put Gomez. I believe that against Roma will be the same. Atalanta, we saw against Juventus that they can play smoothly. If they are not distracted by Champions League, they can be absolutely on pace. Pasalic will be out. He has been under surgery, but Ilicic might be back. Roma, we have to see what happens against Torino tonight. But Pedro, Mkhitaryan, Dzeko all together. Pedro back from the games ban, game suspension, producing so easily football and shifting so good. Open game, Atalanta-Roma normally is never boring, so both teams to score.
Yeah, minus 250, that squirrel. Tan, Lazio minus 225, can't keep clean sheets. Draw plus 275, and Napoli at plus 125. Now, Napoli last weekend, zero energy, zero creativity. And then yesterday, against Inter, arguably the better side, could have scored 3 or 4. And Handanovic was unbelievable in the Inter goal. I like Napoli on two fronts here. I like them just to win the game, because I feel as if they're going to score twice. And I like team total for Napoli over 1.5.
Again, to handle with a lot of care, like Sassuolo Milan, because the draw at Benevento for Lazio was a bit of a setback. They didn't expect that. They thought that now they could run free. It's different from losing at home to Udinese and to Verona, when you know that you are entrapped in between the Champions League fixtures. So the thing is that both they have to give performance, and both know that play against a team that if scores once, then can close rightly the defense and not letting in. Napoli are absolutely fuming after yesterday, but Mertens picked up a very serious injury. We will know in the next hours but he had an ankle twist that put him, for which he was stretchered off in tears.
Yeah, see, this is what I was thinking. In adversity, I fancy Gattuso to get his troops ready. And if there's no Mertens, there's obviously no Insignia. I think they come out, and listen, it all comes down to the Lazio defending for me. And the one thing that Napoli do is they commit players forward, especially in big games.
Yeah, but altogether, Mertens out, Insigne suspended, Osimhen out still with injury. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Have they not got the squad to cope with that?
Against Lazio, maybe not. Against Lazio in full 11, maybe not. They will have to play Politano, Lozano, Petagna, which is anyway a very decent attack. But again, it's a Napoli in full alert and a Lazio in full alert. Alarm is on for both of them. So that's why I go draw at the halftime.
Okay, draw at the halftime. Alex, before Alex gets underway, remember we need a two-team parlay. I'll get Alex's views on this game. Then we'll go to the picks, but I need that two-team parlay. So if you've got any ideas, at the moment I'm leaning towards Sampdoria beating Crotone, and I'm going to need another one. Alex, Lazio versus Napoli.
Yeah, this is why, because all the missing attacking line, you see the over 2.5 here at 1.94. So that is huge, you know. I don't know. Normally, if everyone was healthy and all the teams had their starting 11, I would go with Napoli. But right now, they are struggling to score. We've seen that against Inter. Okay,
they struggled to score against Inter because Handanovic had an 11 out of 10 day.
Yeah, absolutely, like Golini in a Juventus game. So I still think that Napoli will not leave with a defeat from Lazio. So probably the way to go here is Napoli with draw no bet at 1.83. I don't see Lazio winning in this one, to be honest.
Okay, then. Well, let's have a little look at these official picks. I've gone with Napoli. I'm pretty sure of that. Now, Alex, Verona double chance minus 135. Torino over 2.5 goals in the game at minus 133. Inter to win and both teams to score a massive plus 150. Atalanta, Alex Classic at minus 135. Now, Tancredi's picks. They have to ignore some of these squirrel prices. Sassuolo, draw half-time, plus 125. Atalanta, both teams to score, minus 250. Lazio, draw at the half-time at plus 100. Here's his big one, and listen, you can see it happening as well. Juve, draw half-time, win full-time at plus 330. And Verona, double chance at minus 185.
Let me ask you, what is the difference between Verona draw double chance at me minus 135 and that minus 185?
That's unbelievable! Unbelievable!
Why is it?
I don't know. Why is it?
But Tan only sent he's in the middle of the night.
But the price right now is minus 135.
It's
yeah. No. Alex,
so just for repeating every time. Oh, Tancredi squirrel, even if it's not. Just for that. That's discrimination.
Alex, I'm not going to rob a bank with you, okay? So just stop.
Okay.
Grande, Alex. Grande.
Exactly. Ganging up on me, you two. So, yeah, Verona double chance.
No, you ganging up on me by yourself. That's the problem.
Tancredi's got the massive odds of minus 185 because he has a nosebleed if he goes anywhere near the minus 135 that Alex has. Now, Flash's pick. Sampdoria, straight win, minus 110. Not complicating it. Benevento, draw half-time at plus 110. Napoli, plus 165. And Verona, draw no bet at plus 135. I was going to do Verona double chance.
Since when are you playing draw at halftime? Since when?
Well, when I think it's going to be a draw at halftime, Alex. Yeah. Well, funny that, isn't it? Okay, two-team parlay. By the way, 73 of you have got your thumbs up. We want to try and get to 100. There's 116 of you watching. So even worst case scenario, 43 of you have not put your thumbs up if you're watching at the moment. So please put your thumbs up. Get Tan to that 100. Now, two-team parlay. I want to put forward Sampdoria. at minus 125 now. It was minus 110. What do we think, Tan?
Are you looking for my approval or for my tip?
No, I'm looking for you to give us a winner because obviously I don't want to mention it and I won't mention it that your selection was the one that let us down last week.
Mine? Yeah, which one? Inter Napoli?
Yeah.
Well,
Inter Napoli both teams to score.
You are right, but that's unlucky because out of the 5 betting tips, it was the only one that didn't get in.
Well, then, again, I can't help that. If that's the only one you selected to put forward for the parlay, but I do understand that you had a good week.
Absolutely. Fair enough. I say Atalanta, Roma, both teams to score.
Atalanta, yeah, but that's minus 250. That's a real squirrel price. That weren't even me messing about.
Sorry, for the parlay, do you want for the parlay?
Yeah, for
what
the parlay.
Exactly do you want for the parlay? Do you want something to pump up the aggregate,
up the volume,
or you want something?
Pump it up.
Or you want something to just kick me in the balls whenever I suggest it.
Yeah, I want a winner.
Now, how many tips?
Okay, take it from me. Sassuolo, Milan over 2.5 goals at minus 175.
Okay, so that's minus 175.
Yeah, okay. Minus 1. Yeah, you heard it correct. For a parlay, yeah.
Not 1.75, minus 175.
1.57, minus 175.
Okay, so it's minus 175 for over 2.5 goals in the game, Milan.
Yes.
And what are you going for, Squirrel?
You're talking to me? You didn't ask me. You asked a Squirrel. How many tips there are in this parlay?
No, just the one.
Oh my God!
More, please.
We are in the 13th round of the season, and he doesn't know how many tips are.
He does. He's pulling your chain.
No, wait. There are only 2, so you don't put your suggestion.
2-team parlay means there's only 2.
No, I thought you were putting your suggestion. Okay, so it's too little. That's why I was suggesting that both teams to score. Okay, so that is too little. So if I have to, I would say, well, Fiorentina, Verona double chance out. So draw or Verona to win.
Okay, so we've got Verona double chance at minus 1.
With the right odds, not with the odds you write under my name. The
Verona
right one.
double chance
The
at
right
Fiorentina
one, you know?
Is minus 135. And
the right
Alex
one, you know.
And Tan have gone for that. So please ignore when I'm messing about with them odds, but you can see that if they're duplicated, always take Alex's odds.
Did you win the election? Did you win the election in Wisconsin in the end?
No, I'm asking for a recount. Now, if you like this video, then please subscribe, press the button and ring the bell. Ring the bell means that we'll notify you. You'll never miss any content. Again, I'm going into the Christmas period. We're going to be having shows that are not at their normal time and definitely not on their normal day. Listen, have a great weekend. Please press that thumbs up on the way out. We need 17 more to get to 100. And also, if you're watching this video back, have a comment. Leave a comment. We'll try and reply to it. There's no problem at all. And also, you can put the thumbs up when you're watching it. So have a great weekend in Serie A. We're going to be back in a couple of hours for Bundesliga. And remember to press the link in the description. That will take you over to the articles wrote by Alex and Tan and Martin. There'll be parlays over there, and there'll be a little bit more meat on the bone for individual bets. Alex, I'll see you again in a while for Bundesliga. We had another great week in Bundesliga. Tan, I'll see you in a while.
Yes, don't go away,
please.
For Bundesliga as well. For Bundesliga as well. Get a recount. Trust me.
Okay.
You deserve
everyone, you take care. Ciao.
Ciao.